Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya rip up Supernatural and start over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff on podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA, and this week we are talking about Season 3, Episode 7, Fresh Blood. This originally aired on November 15th, 2007, and was written by Sarah Gamble and directed by Kim Manners. Sarah Gamble has written a bunch of episodes, some that we really like Dead in the Water, and some that we either didn't give a shit about or outright hated, so that's cool. And then same with Kim Manners, because Kim Manners directed Dead in the Water, but also Bugs. So,
I see.
Children shouldn't play with dead things, but also Bugs. Admittedly, I don't remember the direction of Bugs super well, but everything about that episode is upsetting. So
right. So, this episode was. Before we jump into summary, but this episode was arguably boring.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened, and whether it's my neurodivergencies or the fact that it was actually boring that led to me not being able to pay any attention to it is anybody's guess, really.
Yeah. I do want to also say before we start this summary that I at least will be during Laura Library talking a good amount about racism, specifically against Black people. It's not going to be the deepest discussion of all time, but it is there. So if just so you know.
Our summary begins. Bella tells Gordon she knows where Sam is because he was going to kill her otherwise. She makes a deal with him. Sam and Dean hunt down a vampire. They get her. They knock her unconscious and tie her to a chair, and when she wakes up, they're like, What are you? And she's like, I'm sorry, my name is Lucy, and I can't come down from this high. I took a drug, and I can't come down. And Dean is like, was it thick and red? And she's like, yeah. The sun hurts, and I hear blood pumping, and the boys are like, congrats, you're a vampire. And she cries, and doesn't believe them, and then Dean fucking kills her. Stuff happens. More stuff happens. I didn't pay attention to this episode. Gordon finds out about the vampire business and tries to hunt it down too? But they run into each other after Dean saves a girl from being vampire. I'm not really sure. But they run, get back to the hotel that they're staying at. Bella calls Dean, and Dean is like, wow, you bitch. And in his quote, this is from the Wikipedia, this little quote, deepest, most serious voice, unquote, threatens her life. Gordon gets turned into a vampire. The boys get a call from him threatening some other woman's life. I don't care. Basically, the episode ends with them killing Gordon. And also Kubrick dies. Kubrick is the guy who's obsessed with Jesus. And then Dean shows Sam how to fix Baby because he's going to die and somebody needs to take care of her. Yes. Also, at some point, Dean and Sam have a conversation because Sam is like, why are you so fucking reckless? And Dean is like, gee, Sam, why do you think? And Sam is like, I just want my brother back.
It was kind of actually weird that they had that conversation because I thought Sam already knew. I did too. I thought we had this conversation.
Or you know what? It might not have been so much why are you being reckless, but stop being reckless.
I mean, maybe, but then it's just something. It's something we've already tread this ground, you know.
Right.
But admittedly, not enough happened for me in this episode to be like, well, cut it because this is unnecessary because this one wasn't for me.
No. Our death count, in case anybody was wondering, is 8 for sure. 2 of those are mentioned, but then also there's Dixon's entire nest was wiped out, and we don't know how many were in his nest. So let's just say at least 20.
Yeah, just a bunch.
So my notes?
Yeah.
Okay, there's literally 13 of them. My first one is Sam Winchester is the Antichrist. Because that's what Gordon says to Bella. He literally is like, Sam Winchester is the Antichrist. And it made me fucking lose my mind. Because it's one of the first sentences in this whole episode. It just took me off guard so bad. Then I have a quote from Bella. And she said, are you off your meds? And that's how she sounds because she's British.
I forgot about that.
And I said, great, thanks, Bella. Could you be more ableist?
This show's so bad about this.
Because that's right after. So he says Sam Winchester's the Antichrist, and then Bella laughs and says that to him. And, basically, calls him crazy and says that he should be on meds, I guess. Um, yeah. Yeah. Um, then I have literally fuck the slicing themselves for blood. I hate this show, just carry someone in a little jar. I really like this note for a couple of reasons. The first one is because we've talked about it, I think, before, and we will talk about it 1,000 times forever, I bet. When they have to slice themselves, it's horrible, and I hate it. I fucking can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That's
But,
fair.
like, I know sometimes, right, it's for, like, sometimes they're making a blood ritual and it has to be their blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like most of the time they do it, it's just because they need some blood.
Yeah,
and
so, like, is it because it needs to be fresh blood?
Right.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but all I'm saying is that, like, you could just as easily start, like, carrying out little vials. Like, they sell blood bags, you know? Well, okay, sorry, let me...
I was gonna say, sell blood bags?
They don't sell them!
You could get a bag to hold blood, is what you're trying to say.
Yes. What I meant is, these guys have stolen enough in their lives that they could hypothetically get into a hospital and steal blood bags.
Well, I guess
is what I meant.
Is, I think blood needs to be kept cold.
True.
And they don't have, like, an icebox or a refrigerator on them all the time. That's the only thing I can, like, if I'm picking holes in this. I do think it's, like, because then they do, like, at least in this case, because Haley was like, why is he cutting his forearm and not his hand? And I said, well, maybe it's because he knows he's about to get into a fight, just in case, like, you know. But like, then they are also, like, bleeding all over the place. Like, they have an open wound.
Genuine question. I mean, not that either of us would know this answer, because I'm not a doctor, and you're not a doctor.
No.
Or a hematologist. Do those exist?
I have no idea.
Is
Probably?
hematology real? I'm gonna Google that.
Okay.
Anyway, if you need, like, does it need to be kept fresh only for transfusions? You know, like, does it need to be chilled, or, like, because, like, I'm sure that, like, if it's in a little jar, it can't dry up, right? Like, if you just got some blood in a little jar.
Does blood need to be refrigerated? Blood and its components need to be stored at the right temperature as soon as they are extracted from a donor's body to preserve all important cells, proteins, and molecules that can be used either for testing, research, or clinical purposes, or procedures. So
it only needs to be chilled for medical reasons.
I don't want to Google, can blood go bad? Because, like, that's not a question you can necessarily answer, is it? Because, like, I don't know if, like, it would like, if everything in it effectively dies, I guess, or, like, is no longer, like, it's no longer to work for donor purposes, but could, like, it still attract a vampire? These are questions we don't have the answer to. So if you're listening and you're a vampire, write in, right?
Oh my god. Hematology is real. Hematology is a real thing.
Okay.
I'm just really... I'll take the bullet. Can blood go bad? Donated blood doesn't last forever as red blood cells run down metabolically over time. Okay.
But,
that
like,
doesn't
again,
answer my question.
Well, because, Haley, I don't know if this is a question we can answer, because our question is, would a vampire basically still be attracted to the blood? And the answer is, how would we know? How would we know?
Hey, did you know that you can... hey, no, this is good.
Okay.
I found this article from January 17th, 2023 on stuffsure.com. And it says... It's titled "How to Preserve Blood in a Vial Necklace." I don't know why this is an article. However, it says here in this article. Well, okay, there's step by steps, so that's fun. Help. There's literally...
Okay, we need to move on. You can research this later.
No, this is important. Anyway, it says here that blood has a shelf life of about 6 weeks, so it can rot if not properly cooled.
Okay.
And to use formaldehyde before storing your blood in an airtight... But that's for beauty purposes. I just want to know. Okay, here it is. This is what I wanted to read. There's this quote says, "You can store blood in a vial for 42 days without freezing it. However, frozen blood can be stored for 10 years without going bad." So, if the boys would just freeze some blood cubes, okay?
So, like, at Bobby's, they have a fridge full of blood cubes, and then they just take them with them.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
They just need to freeze. They just need to get a couple ice trays from the grocery store, steal some blood bags from a hospital, fill up those little trays.
Well, you know what? They
and
don't
make
give
them
a shit
some
if
blood
we're.
cubes.
I think most of the time, like a lot of the time, we're working in like a shortage of blood, but I don't think they give a shit. So
no, they don't care.
Anyway.
Sorry about that. My next note is, girlie thinks she's high. Then I have the note, what the fuck does wavy gravy mean? I still don't know what wavy gravy means. That's for the listeners. That is, Dean calls the vampire girl that. He says, "All right, wavy gravy," and I was like, "What the fuck is he saying?" Then I have also, why would you take a drug that is thick and red? Like, I would instantly be like, "No fucking thank you. That's sketchy." Not that I take drugs in the first place. I'm very straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I cannot imagine my if I was ever going to dabble, a thick red liquid drug would not be my first go-to, nor would it be my second, third, or fourth. Not even my fifth, okay? Top 10, right? And I feel like that's what matters. I just want to know why she was doing that. Or anybody else, why they're like, yeah, yeah, like, girl, no, especially not women, like, I'm so, like, and I mean, maybe that's maybe that's not a great statement, but, like, I feel like women are very, warned and cautioned against, like, strange substances in public, especially bars, given, like, statistical things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Against assault and whatever. Like,
there were
I know they just needed.
There were a lot of women in this episode who were just at a bar taking like unknown shots from a random guy.
Right.
To be fair, we don't know what if he drugged them at all beforehand, and we're not trying to victim blame. It was just like a little bit odd that like he at least 4 women. He had made this work with. I'm getting a phone call. You talk.
Okay. My next note is, when you're pretending to be an FBI agent and you fucking lie and say there's a deadly virus going around, way to spark panic. That is, when Gordon goes to the hospital to talk to the guy, the vampire victim or whatever, who was bit by her, he's like, we just need to know because the girl who bit you has a deadly virus. It's very deadly. And he's like, oh shit, really? She fucking bit me. Or whatever. I don't know. But like, I feel like out of all the things you should say there, like, maybe don't choose the thing that could spark, like, widespread panic. Just a suggestion. And then my next note after that is Love Dean being reckless because he doesn't care about dying or whatever. Okay, idiot. Which we've already talked about that, so I don't want to go on more about it that much. But Dean Winchester... No, wait, actually I will talk about it because we talked about it in the reaction while we were watching. But there's really something about the fact that Dean Winchester is this guy who is so, like, he's just so, you know, I don't know, hold on, I need a minute, my brain forgot what I was saying.
Haley's doing a really good job at this podcasting thing today.
I need to catch up with my thoughts. Can you leave me alone?
We called this episode True Blood earlier.
Oh, god damn it! I thought you'd forgotten!
No, I didn't.
No, my
I can't
god,
forget.
you were waiting for the perfect fucking time to pounce. Dean Winchester. Okay. Dean Winchester, throughout the show, struggles with his like mortality and the fact that he like could die at any minute,
Mm-hmm.
and how. But then he gets to this point where he's like, okay, well, dying on the job is just a given and it's gonna happen, whatever.
Yes.
But then we get to the end of the series, and he's kind of in this like, okay, actually, I don't want to die on the job. I hate that this job is dangerous, and I don't want to die doing it. But then the series fucking ends with him dying on the goddamn job.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's a good character, like full character arc, or a bad one. Like, I cannot tell if what they did there was like twisted irony, you know, or if it was just like fucking bad.
I personally am choosing to read it as bad.
Cool.
Because I don't think that, and keep in mind that I haven't seen the show, but from the gifs that I saw of that episode, I would not say that from what I was seeing, the show was taking it as a necessarily tragic thing to happen. It was just kind of like, Dean died, and now let's talk about Sam's life, and now Sam's dead, and now...
Oh my god! What? Sorry.
What?
That was very... Sorry.
Was it something I said?
No, sorry, it was, I was looking for...
Oh my god.
I was looking for the transcript.
Uh-huh.
And I read something wrong for a second, and I thought that... There's a flashback in the last episode of Supernatural to Dead Man's Blood, but for a minute, my brain saw blood and thought it was fresh blood, and I was like, no fucking way. But it wasn't, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just think that if they were going to go this route of Dean struggles with, like, his mortality and deciding if he really wants to live, being more than okay with dying on the job, to taking this more, like, there's a life worth living route, then there should have been a more tragic note to Dean never got to live life as someone who wasn't a hunter, except for like that 1 year where Sam was gone. And,
right. So I found really quick. I found the quote that I was looking for. So as he's dying, Dean says, and quote, "You knew it was always gonna end like this for me. It was supposed to end like this, right? I mean, look at us, saving people, hunting things. It's what we do." Like, guys,
I think
you didn't have to do that.
I think there's a way to make this work, and I don't necessarily think that they did it, because I think if they had done it, then it would have had to be a much more, like...
heroic fucking death?
Not even that. I think you can go with him dying in something insignificant if you just really highlight how tragic and unfair it is. That Dean Winchester, who was destined for all these things, like... who was chosen by an angel, who was the vessel of Michael, like, all this shit. If you highlight how tragic it is that he never got to live his own life, he never got out of being a hunter, he died on a fucking nail, like, if you actually, like, really lean into, like, how, like, just, like, sad it is, then... like, beyond just, like, the show is ending, a character I like died. Like, if you really lean into the tragedy, maybe we have something there, but that's not what the show did, you know?
Right.
I don't think that's what they did. And again, I still haven't seen that episode, just from, like, the tone of the gifs I was seeing.
Yeah.
From the tone of all of that. Like, it's sad, but it's not
and listening
tragic.
to me watch it and going, and me screaming, Dean Winchester just fucking died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts there. Then I have a quote from Dean saying, "That bitch." And then I said, Dean Winchester is a misogynist. Followed by, "This basic white vampire dude talks really weird." He just kept saying things in, like, the weirdest fucking voice possible. And, like, I don't know what they were doing there. I don't know what they thought they were doing there. If they thought they were doing something at all. But it wasn't good, so I don't care. Then I have... Sam said, "I wish you would drop the game and be my brother again." Not gonna lie, that line kind of got me in my heart a little bit.
And then he does at the end, because he teaches him how to fix baby.
Yeah, which is my next note, which is the parentification of Dean Winchester. Because Dean Winchester does what he's like, I'm gonna do what a brother does and show you the ins and outs of my car.
That you will have to care for once I die.
which is like, okay, Dean, but also like you'll see it's in like a lot of media, like if there's I say a lot. I'm thinking of one other specific example, but I feel like it's probably in a lot of media. So like, you know, the brothers who don't have a great relationship with their father, like turns out the older brother's been the dad that he never had all along or
Yeah.
whatever, right? I'm thinking about Onward, the Disney movie,
Oh.
and how like Barley taught Tom
Love that you
Holland.
think I'm gonna know this.
Ian! His name's Ian. Barley taught Ian how to drive because, like, they don't have a dad, so, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's, like, a whole thing. But, like, that basically happened in this episode, you know? The
Yeah.
parentification of Dean Winchester. And that's that thought. And my notes are done.
Cool. So, hold on, let me pull up my stuff. So the first thing is, like, the tiniest bit of lore library. First of all, we got vampires. Supernatural is so weird about vampires, always, for some reason. Not as weird as werewolves, just weird. And, vampires, you can get bit, but you can't ingest blood. That's their unique take on it. The thing in this is the girl is named Lucy. That is a direct reference to Dracula, I think, because it's also on the trivia page. Lucy Westenra is one of the characters in Dracula, and she doesn't realize that she is, like, being turned into a vampire, and then she dies. And then she comes back as a vampire, and they have to kill her. It's very sad. I did notice that all of the women that this particular vampire brought back were blonde. Lucy in the book is blonde. I wonder if that was, like, on purpose.
Huh.
And now we're going to talk about Gordon. So we've talked about Gordon every time.
Everybody buckle in, because this is a ride.
Yeah. So we've talked about Gordon before and how he is, God, the only reoccurring. No, there's have we met Agent Yes, we did. We met Agent Hendrickson, but he's also an antagonist, just not to the extent that Gordon was, yet, in like a violence level. So Gordon was our first reoccurring black character. He's a dark-skinned black man, and he is incredibly violent, incredibly aggressive, and the boys are repeatedly warned by other white characters, Bobby and Bella in this case, to stay away from him because he is so dangerous. And he just, it's just not good. You know, it very heavily leans into this idea of, like, violent black men, and it's really bad. It's bad. The last time we saw him, he was breaking out of prison. The boys put him in prison because the last time they actually confronted him, he was chasing after them, and they called the police on him, which we talked about being bad. And it's still bad. I did look for actual articles about this, and I will try to do a little more searching, but there's, like, not that much discussion that I could easily quickly find while watching this episode about Gordon himself, because he's not in that many episodes. I think he's in, like, 4 or 5 max. And admittedly, even in 2015, when I found this one Reddit comment about it, where someone mentions that the white guys always kill their black counterparts, which isn't actually accurate in the sense that this says Dean killed Gordon Walker because Gordon is Dean's parallel, basically, which has been established multiple times. Sam actually kills him. That's the only thing I mean there. But in this post from 2015, people in the comments were getting very upset at the concept of Supernatural being racist. So I think that's a reason. There may have at one point been more posts about it on, let's say, Tumblr, but many of those seem to have been deleted. A lot of them, like, that I have found that link to other posts about different things, those have been deleted. I did find a few articles, and I'll link these on Twitter. So I found one which has a lot. It's not a discussion of necessarily just racism. It's called Latchkey Hero, Masculinity, Class, and the Gothic and Eric Kripke's Supernatural. It's more about just, like, Dean, Gothic, whiteness in like US American culture. It's got a lot of references. It talks a little bit about this. It has a section about racism and Orientalism. I have a letter that is called An Open Letter to Eric Kripke. That's from 2009. That first one was from 2008. And it's just like about how like all of these the black women don't come back. All of the black women we've met have been one-off characters, and all the black men who are repeated characters are tragically evil. That's how this person words it, I think. And then this one, which I actually am going to read a quote from, which is called Supernatural, Kinda Racist. This one is actually from 2017, and it's by Alejandro Zuleta. And it talks mostly about Gordon and Uriel, who we haven't met yet. But it says, as a representative, tragic Black American story, Walker's storyline parallels similar situations outside of supernatural fiction. Police officers, as certain representatives of society, view Black men fearfully and as menaces. Thus, when prison fails to achieve its purpose, death is the next option, an option that sometimes even supersedes prison. With Supernatural's portrayal of Walker, they have, knowingly or unknowingly, presented a bias against Black men. And
great, thanks, Supernatural.
Yeah. And I think this was brought up in one of the Tumblr posts that I closed, and I can no longer figure out which one it was. But someone did point out, and I mentioned this when it happened in the actual episode because it is notable that, while I can't remember how Jake died, and it might have been quick, Isaac, who was in the beginning of this season, and Gordon have had the most brutal deaths that I personally think have been on this show. Isaac was the one who had to drink bleach. He was forced to drink bleach by the demons. They controlled him. And then in this episode, Sam uses barbed wire to behead Gordon, and it is very slow. And it is very drawn out.
There?
Huh?
Is that what happened there?
It was barbed wire, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. I just knew it was very bloody.
It was long. Someone actually mentioned it in their review. This one was by Zombie High from 2011, and they said, though I can't say I'm saddened by his death, the man had it coming, he became what he hunted best. I'm a little overwhelmed by the ruthless way he died, and I wondered, is Sam even Sam anymore? And that is what the point of, in the past few episodes, Sam killing something, the point has been, is he even Sam anymore? But the fact that this brutal of a killing, this slow, really, really painful way to kill a vampire, when Dean killed another vampire, one scene before with a single bullet to the head, it's because Gordon is a black man, and because of, the weight that carries in this show, which has, in, one episode, actually acknowledged that racism exists. I don't think Supernatural is, ever, divorced enough from reality. If it was super high fantasy, sometimes they're but racism isn't there. And there's arguments for and against that, depending on who's writing. And even when it is, a black person writing a fantasy, sometimes there are critiques against not having racism there. That's not a conversation I'm trying to have or even contribute to. But this show has explicitly acknowledged racism and yet is completely unaware, even within that episode, of what it's doing.
Great.
I know it's 2008, 7, 2007. It's still a really, really bad look. It's still a bad look, and this is a consistent theme in Supernatural, where there are, to quote that other article, tragically evil black men, and it's bad.
It's not good.
Yeah, I will link all those articles on Twitter.
Thanks, Taya.
And
here to do the work that I am not strong enough to do.
That's fine, no worries. I mean, what else am I adding to this? The Bechdel test? Fuck, 2 women weren't talking at the same time in this episode. There were 2 women in a scene together. They had, one of them had a line, and they were both drugged and being turned into vampires.
So true. Bechdel test. Woo,
strung up on the ceiling. We're not doing well, so. Yeah.
Thanks, Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Supernatural, thank you. Cool. Well, crack shipping. Did I say this? I don't know if I said this last time they were in the episode together, but I don't know, fucking Gordon and Kubrick. I think I might have said that last time they were in an episode
remember.
together.
I remembered you saying Dean and Gordon the very first episode they were
funny.
in. But I don't know about this one.
That's really funny of me. Yeah, so Gordon and Kubrick, which is really funny because Gordon kills Kubrick in this episode.
And Kubrick is definitely homophobic.
He's so homophobic. He loves Jesus too much. Jesus is the only man he'll ever love.
For clarification, he loves Jesus in a very evangelical Christian sort of way.
Yeah.
Very, like, fundamentalist, like, you know, like, extremely conservative. Yeah.
But it's fine because he's dead now.
He is dead now.
Taya, would you like to take the reins with today's episode is brought to you by?
Today's episode is brought to you by Crazy Circles by Bad Company, and I have no idea when that played, but when.
I also don't know when it played, so that's
We weren't paying a ton of attention at times.
I
was reading academic papers, genuinely.
I was trying to draw, but getting too distracted to even draw, so, like, that's where I'm at mentally.
You're so valid.
Thank you. I guess I will do my favorite. Sorry, I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, where am I?
Haley?
Favorite trivia. My favorite trivia on this today's Wikipedia page is... Sorry, my favorite wiki on this... Oh my god, hello?
Hello indeed.
My favorite wiki thing on this wiki today is... In the trivia section, it says, when the fight is over with Gordon, Dean stands next to a sign that says 183 days, possibly a reference to how long he has left on his deal. To that I have to say, this is a fucking reach. Shut up. Shut up.
I love that. Almost just a little bit over a school year. My fave thing on the wiki is in the errors section. It is, to avoid being tracked, Sam removes the SIM cards from him and Dean's phones. When he opens the back of his phone, you can see the card simply lying against a flat plastic panel of the phone chassis. When he opens Dean's wallet, the card simply falls out onto the table. It's very obvious that neither is plugged into a circuit board, making them non-functional. Someone saw that and was pissed off. And I love that for them. It's a huge mood.
My rating today is 3 mysterious red drugs out of 10.
On IMDb, this episode has an 8.4 out of 10, keeping it pretty on level with everything else. Almost all the reviews are 10s and 9s. There's 2 8s and 2 7s, but overwhelmingly they really like them, even like the 7s, which are oftentimes the lowest ones we've got. A little gory. That's what they think.
Oh, so true.
People still don't
Just
like Bella. Yeah, no, people generally really like this one. And I don't know, this one just didn't do it for me. And I was telling this to Haley, I think maybe part of it is we've been on this season for a while because we've had to take quite a few breaks. But these ones that are not connected to the overarching plot, I just
don't care.
I don't care, and I'm not particularly interested. And I would really like to be done with this season, but we do have 6 episodes left. Hopefully the next one's better, because is it 6? No, there's 16. There's 9 episodes left. Why did I think it was 13? I was thinking in terms of, like, today's seasons that only have, like, 10 episodes, which...
Yeah.
I was wondering if having a shorter... Because I felt Season 2's pacing was really off. And I was wondering if having a slightly shorter season would help. But we've hit so many episodes that just, like, weren't it for me that I just don't think... I mean, this show is just not good.
It's making me think back to when I was like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure the season is really good. And I'm like, why did I say that?
Well, I can tell you that you think that you vaguely remember A Very Supernatural Christmas being good. Sure.
I remember it being fun, and also that's where we get Dean's necklace lore, I think.
Well, because I do know we have both Mystery Spot and Ghost Facers in this season, and I think that's why you thought it was good. Yeah, so I can't wait to be done with this. At least when Castiel shows up, like, we'll have something new to talk about, right? Like...
Right!
That's...
And, like, maybe, like, then plot will, like, swing in, and, like, there will be things to talk about, and, like, new character... I feel like when Cass comes in, like, there's like a pretty good influx of new characters.
There is, because we have, well, because the thing is, season 4 ramps up for season 5, so we get characters coming back more, so we get more Bobby, we get more Joe and Ellen. We, at some point, are going to get Crowley, I think.
When do we get Charlie?
Charlie, I don't think is until after. We'll also get, what's her name? We'll get Megan Ruby back.
Oh, true.
Like, the thing is, we have Bella in this season. However, we've had a lack of some of the other reoccurring characters.
Yeah, also Girly Pop's kind of boring.
I want Bella to be because I think the basic premise of Bella is great. There is, like, zero execution. It's a complete failure of a character for me, which is a shame.
And honestly, it's probably because she's a woman, so...
Yeah. I don't want to talk about this episode anymore. It sucked.
I don't either.
Thank you so much for watching.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do that. We are HATRUSA everywhere. Leave a comment, leave a review, like us everywhere. I don't know. If you can leave a review on iTunes, a positive one, that's something that does actually help us out. Tell people about it. Tell your friends. We have a bunch of hours. So, hey, if you need something to listen to, we're here talking about nonsense. So, hey.
Hey.
Hey,
Taya.
Hey, Haley.
Okay. Bear with me here. Do you think that Santa Claus is an inherently supernatural being?
I don't know how to answer that.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.